Liberal cities are getting rocked by violent crime, but one mayor is saying fears are being completely overblown, and the right-wing media, they're to blame.
You know, there's a lot of noise about what's happening in our city. You see it in the headlines, often in the right-wing media. They love to talk about San Francisco, don't they? You see it on social media. You see one video take off as if it's telling the whole truth about who we are.
Oh, you're not.
Would you like to begin, Judge?
I really didn't intend to say that. I thought, well, you know what? She's not. I'm telling you right now, she's not, okay? She's the one who said, how many months ago, it's time the reign of criminals who are destroying our city, it's time for that to come to an end. And it comes to an end when we take the steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement. Is she schizo? You know, at one point it was like Black Lives Matter. We got to make sure, you know, they have social justice. Then it's like the reign of criminals has to end. Then it's the right-wing media's fault. No, it's not. Read the statistics. That's all I have to say. And you know what? I was in San Francisco not that long ago, and I was afraid. In the Tenderloin district, people are dying all the time because they're doing cocaine. Not that cocaine kills them, but because of the fentanyl that they're putting in the cocaine that's coming from China in an undeclared war as it comes through the border. And by the Mexican cartel. That's all I have to say.
I'm glad we went to you first, Judge. Well, you're right about that comment she made. I forgot about that. That was a great point. What would you like to say in response to the judge's passionate commentary?
I'm mostly in agreement. And I think that'll, it happens. And I would say also that a lot of liberal leadership is in agreement. We talk about, we're all here in New York City. We have a mayor that got elected running on a tough on crime agenda with a criminal justice reform component to it, which I think is basically where everybody wants to be, certainly in the post George Floyd murder era. And I think that what Gascon is saying in LA and what London Breed is saying in that particular statement is a bit of an outlier. And the Biden administration has been clear, you know, from the beginning, we're not talking about defunding the police. We don't think that this rhetoric is helpful. And if you look at the people in leadership, Whip Clyburn, Biden, obviously, Kamala Harris, they're all saying this is not how we see things. So
why did London Breed talk about the right-wing media?
Because she's grasping for straws. Is it gasping? Gasping for air and grasping for straws.
Sure, both.
Both Biden and Kamala Harris ran on getting rid of cash bail. So that's the central problem here in New York City. So let's not dismiss. Oh, and by the way, they couldn't stand up and say, riots are bad, stop burning our cities, until the poll numbers turned against them. It went on for months until they stood up and denounced the violence that was happening in major cities across the country. I want to point out real quick, George Gascon was actually the police chief in San Francisco before he toddled on down to L.A., appointed by Gavin Newsom. And then he was appointed by Gavin Newsom, then the mayor, to be the district attorney of San Francisco. So this dangerous liberalism, the pro-criminal, anti-victim stance is like genital herpes. It spreads, and you can't see it, and you can catch it, and it winds up in your city, and there's really no treatment for it.
Well, Gascon was elected,
there's no val.
Someone
not in San Francisco. He wasn't.
Someone besides Greg referenced STD.
Do we have Valtrex for this kind of liberalism?
Go ahead, Greg.
Gascon, I thought he was very helpful when he was offering tips to avoid being a victim of crime. He said, lock your doors.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, here's another tip. Avoid getting shot. Don't stand in front of an incoming bullet. I thought that was helpful. I find that, I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Progressives deny the brutality and suffering of crime because they don't see it as a human problem. They see it as a political issue that they must indulge to placate their base. So they talk about criminal justice reform rather than let's help the victims, right? Their base sees victims as a reckoning for 400 years of oppression, although the last time I checked, elderly Asian women didn't own slaves or support Jim Crow. So I don't know why they're so silent about other minorities being destroyed in the streets. I don't want to get gross, but I will. Yeah. There's a dude that just attacked a woman in the subway and, by smothering her with his human feces on her face. He boasted that he was going to get out. He got out before she got her treatment. He was out laughing about it. How is that not, like, assault with a deadly weapon with the bacteria.
is that it
It's
right
a
there?
chemical attack. It's an app. I mean, and it's like, but this is the state of society right now. A man can walk up to your mother, your grandmother, take a bag of crap, shove it in her face. Her eyes were burning. It was in her nose. And he laughed and he walked out. How can you stand for this SH?
You know what Fauci said about this?
What?
Woman should have been wearing a
Mask. There you go. She should have double masked. If she wore the plastic.
the face shield.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.